Hello viewers, today we will learn 4 basic tasks that we can do on Microsoft SQL Server using the Management Studio. We will learn how to create a database and a table on it, how to back up our database, how to restore the database from this backup, and finally how to restore the backup to a new database. We will do these 4 tasks one by one, and I will explain you what I do and why during the video. Okay, let's start with the first step. To create a new database on our SQL server, right-click on Databases, create a new database, and pick a name for your database. Next, on Options tab, let's change the collation of database. We will explain the collations in another video, or you can leave the default if you like. I will use a collations that it's the most famous on today's databases. So we are ready to create our new database. We hit the OK button and that's all. Next step is to create a new table inside the database that we created. We open our database tree view, we pick the file tables, and with right click we choose New Table. Now we have to add columns, a name for our column, the data type, and if we will allow all values it. So our first field will be the user ID with data type integer, and we don't want null values on it. Also, we will change the field properties to auto increase when a new row is added on the table. The next field we will call it username with data type and vatsha 25. The 25 means the max characters that can be stored. In our list field, we will call it password with data type and vatsha 20. Also, we will set the field userid as the primary key of our table. Okay, our new table is ready to be created. We right-click on the tab, and we name our table. Let's call it Users. As you can see, our table is ready. It doesn't have any date on it, so let's add a new row to complete the first task for today. We move forward to next task, how to back up the database that we created before. We right-click on it, we choose Tasks, and then the option Backup. Now we have to choose which database we want to back up, if it will be a full backup, and finally the destination. Where to store it. I will pick a folder in my disk. I will name the backup. We hit the OK button and our backup is ready. So let's move on next task. The next task is to restore the database from the backup that we created. Again, we right-click on Database. We choose Tasks, Restore Database. And now we have to fill some options. For our source, we will choose Device. We will browse the backup file. And on destination we will pick in which database we will restore the backup. We double check the options and we are ready. We hit the OK button, but we get an error. The error says that cannot process the restore because the database is already in use. It's a common error and can be fixed by choosing on Options, Close Existing Connections. Okay, let's hit OK again to complete the restore. Next and final task is to restore our backup to a new database. It's useful when you want to create databases for testing. First, we have to create a new database. We follow the steps from first task. We name it, we set up in setting the same collision, and we hit the OK button. Now that our database is ready, we right-click on it, we choose again Options and Restore. We repeat the same steps, choosing the source and the destination. But this time we have also to choose from the Options tab to overwrite the existing database with the method of replace. We hit the OK button and the restore done. Optional, we can rename the file names of it by choosing them in the Properties Files tab. That's the end of our tutorial. Let's also delete the restoring database before we go, and we done. Thank you guys for watching, and if you liked my video, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for my next video. Goodbye.